Okay. Okay. We figured it out, boys. We figured it out. We cracked the code. We're going to tell you why Arch is performing better than Delta on the new rally meta. That's what we're going to do. I'm your boy Chadsky, man. I put up videos all the time, just about every day. If you enjoy my videos, be sure to like them, throw a thumbs up on them. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, consider doing that. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps out the channel. We're pushing through 20,000 subscribers. I've only been doing this for just over 4 months. And it is a massive credit to the community we built and all the people that are kind of helping with what we're doing. And speaking of that community, you can join my Discord. The Discord link is in the description. That's where a lot of these conversations come from. And I was cooking last night. I figured it out. And it makes sense to me now. Because before it didn't make sense. Okay, so let's get right into this, shall we? We were doing the testing the other day on Subutai rallies. Okay, this cat just dropped into the game on Saturday night or Sunday reset after NGE. And we started running the hell out of him. Now, I'm really uniquely placed because I can run my Arch stuff. This is like a famous Arch set that I have run for a couple of years now, and it does absolute crazy work. And the reason why is because I got this kind of stuff well before the game came out. Now, I had Destructive. I had a fourth one, but Destructive is bad. You guys know about me and Destructive. It does not work, okay? So I elect to go with Pulverize, which is a kind of a good proc type of deal for normal damage. That's what it does. This is Arch. This is all about normal damage, okay? Normal damage is key here because when we were testing Subutai after reset on Sunday, we ran him, and like I said, I'm unique with Arch and I'm unique with Delta. I have the Delta stuff set up. Full special inscriptions, okay? And from there, I wanted to see and get a clear idea exactly how this thing worked out and compare it to each other because it's really hard to do that in a KVK setting. Okay, the garrisons are different, the reinforcements are different, all things are different. Well, and what we could do in 2293 in our kingdom, we could run meta garrisons and run them in a practice arc. And then we can literally see how they compare to each other against the exact same garrison in same settings. And that's what we did. Okay, so the video yesterday I put out just talked about that testing, and it showed people why Arch was performing better than Delta on the Attila Subutai rally, which kind of doesn't make any sense, right? Because Delta is made for combo. That's what it is. I mean, you get an increase of 10% combo attack damage, just basically off the formation. You get the combo boost off of Flurry, okay? You got Steel Skin over here, which has got some damage resistance. You got Butterfly, probably the most broken inscription in the game. It gives you a 3.5% boost to combo damage, and it also triggers more. There's just little facets to this armament set that make it really, really good. You get a 3.5% bonus to combo damage. So that's a 15% boost, not just bonus, but boost between Butterfly and between Flurry. Okay, so you figure that would be really, really good. But there's something interesting going on with the actual rally, okay? And this is what the developers, I think, are trying to figure out. Because first and foremost, when Subutai came out, when he was announced, I would say, and it was like 2 months ago, I looked at it and I looked at how this works and I looked at combo attacks and their damage is affected by bonuses to normal damage. Well, that just got Attila written all over it. And I said at the very beginning, he's going to be paired with Attila. He's going to go behind Attila. And then I said, we need to find out if Arch or Delta works better. Okay. And it turns out, and my prediction was going in saying, well, Delta's going to perform better because it's enhancing more of what this guy does with the combo attacks that he does. And I think Arch can be good, and it's maybe good for more of a prickly situation because you're ramping up more normal damage and you're kicking out counterattack damage for Swarm, right? And I was like, okay, so against the just pure garrison, the Delta is going to be better. It wasn't. It's Arch that's better. And it baffled me. So yesterday, I cooked for hours trying to figure this out, and I figured it out. And here's why. First of all, let me show you. We ran these tests, okay? And we ran them differently on 2 different practice arcs because you can't switch your gear and stuff like that. So what I did was let me see here. I've got my setup. I ran these things first with Delta, and then I came back and I ran these things with Arch, okay? And there was a difference. And this is what people have to understand. There was a difference in the actual testing, okay? On the left, you'll see in the yellow, those were the SEV differences, the SEV wound differences, which is basically your ratio, okay, and how you trade. That was the difference in the yellow. That was Delta. In Arch was blue, and that's the difference in Arch. It's the exact same setup, and then you can see in the right-hand column on difference how much better Arch performed than Delta. Then I started seeing reports coming in from KVK, from Addy in 960, who's got a crazy Arch set, from Andre in 2377, a buddy of mine, he's got a crazy Arch set. And I started seeing that was actually doing better than anybody with Delta. And I was like, how is this working? I don't understand. And so the idiot that I am and the nerd that I am in this game, and I love it so much. That's why this game is like a big puzzle. We're trying to always figure stuff out. And I go into my Discord, I start going back and forth with people, and I think I got it figured out. And let me show you something, okay? Put my logo back up here. Let me show you something real quick. Okay, when it comes to Arch formations, this is what, like, it's in plain sight, but we forget it, okay? Normal damage is like all damage for Attila, okay? Because normal damage enhances everything Attila does. Okay, you get a bonus or a bonus here from the normal damage when he does his active skill. Okay, you get a perpetual normal damage bonus when you're rallying something and the troops on the garrison fall below 50%. It happens very quickly. Okay, and it's ramping up. It's like all damage for Attila because he doesn't do any other damage outside of basic attack and counterattack. That's what this guy does. And normal damage, it gives you basic attack, counterattack, and then smite and combo. Okay, well, the combo side of things, and this is why normal damage works so well with Gorgo, and when you run Attila Gorgo or Gorgo Attila garrisons, or when I was running Attila Scipio Emilianus, everything Attila does enhances every part of that mechanism of pairing. And so it's like all damage. That's why when we say, hey, on the Greatest Glory, do I even have it on here? On the Greatest Glory, this is a 6.5% more normal damage. It's a bonus to normal damage. That's like all damage. For any Smite commander, for Attila, for any combo commander, it's like all damage, okay? So you start thinking about that in terms of all damage, all right? And this is what people have to understand, is that you're ramping up so much normal damage, so why is Arch so much better? Here's why. Fearless is like the best inscription in the game for this particular mechanic. It's really weird, but this is a 8% boost to normal damage. And then over here on Straight to the Point, you get an extra 3.5% boost to normal damage. These are boosts, okay? So if you can run up your normal damage bonuses as high as possible, and then you boost it on top of that, that's why it turns crazy. It turns madness when it comes to the actual damage. It is like, this was my comparison yesterday, and I ran it through Billick. Okay, Billick is like a quantitative. Like, this dude is super smart. Check out his channel. I sent kind of my findings to him and say, okay, check me here. Am I making sense? And he said, Chadsky, it's like you made a scientific discovery. You figured this out. Okay, and here's what I'm trying to say. Boosts to normal damage, it's the equivalent of having like a super ring accessory, okay? Follow me here. You have all damage in a lot of different cases, okay? And you have a ring here, right? That gives you a bonus to all damage, right? You get a 65% bonus to all damage. Imagine if there was a super ring, okay, that did a boost to all damage. like did a 10% boost to all damage. So basically what that is you take this 65% here, you take any all damage you get on skills and everything, and then you add them up, and then you boost that by 10%. That's what that means. Okay, so it's almost like an overlaying all damage boost. You got to look at Arch as not, and especially when it comes to Fearless and Straight to the Point, and even Destructive has a 3.5% boost. You got to look at this boost. It's not a boost at normal damage dealt. It's a boost to all damage. It's wild. That's why it works. That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, what the hell is going on here? How can I not figure this out? Why is Arch performing better than Delta? It's not supposed to, okay? But with the Attila mechanic, and that he maximizes the white numbers, the basic attack and counterattack. And that's the hidden secret of this rally, is that you trade so well in your second by second, every single turn, your white numbers. And that's where you really do most of the damage. And so the red numbers are great. And any kind of normal damage bonus is enhancing the red numbers coming from Subutai. But understanding that made sense to me. So I did some calculations. Y'all ready? Here's the chart, okay? So let's just follow me here, all right? We're going to give a base normal damage, okay? This is just your basic normal damage of any commander. We're going to say that's 100%, right? Because it's got to be. It's got to be 100%. Or you can put whatever number you want to put on there. I don't even care. But let's just say it's 100%. When you go into all the different skills and all the different attributes on the armaments and different things like that, you can even put Greatest Glory in here. But Attila Expertise gives you 20% perpetual, right? Now you got to get to there, but once you do, you get it to 20%. The Attila active skill gives you 30% normal damage bonus. Subutai's third skill gives you 30% normal damage, okay? And just so everybody understands, when it comes to Subutai's third skill, this is a stack. It's a 2-stack deal that it does. Well, this ramps up quickly and it sticks. It doesn't go anywhere because it resets every time you stack it. So that sits at 30%, like perpetually, okay? So when you look at that, that's a 30% one on Subutai's third skill. Then you've got Invincible, and then you've got Straight to the Point. Now, I put out here, that's a proc on Straight to the Point, but you're going to see what happens, and I'll explain it to you, okay? So just follow me as we go through this stuff, all right? So you've got Invincible. This is Invincible. This is great for rallies and garrisons, all right? Because you ramp up the normal damage bonus up to 12%, okay? And then it's got a skill damage resistance as kind of its baseline. But you ramp up the bonus. That's not a boost. That's a bonus to 12%. So this is at the beginning of the equation that we're trying to do, okay? Then you have Straight to the Point. I'm ignoring this boost for now, and I'm going here. This is a proc situation that's going to give you 20% bonus to normal damage dealt, but a 10% reduction in skill damage. I don't care about that. It's all upside, okay? So when it comes to the chart, I've got Attila Expertise, I've got Attila Active Skill, I've got Subutai Third Skill, I've got Invincible, and then I've got Straight to the Point. So if you add those up with a baseline of 100%, it gives you 212% bonus to normal damage. Now, in the report, it should say 112%, okay? But here's how to calculate it, all right? Fearless gives you 8% boost. Straight to the Point gives you 3.5% boost, okay? Let me just show you real quick as we were talking about it. This is an 8% boost on Fearless. Straight to the Point, 3.5% boost, okay? So those boosts are now applied. So that's an 11.5% boost. Well, that's not a bonus. It's not just an additional normal damage. It's a boost to all the normal damage. So you basically take the 100% base normal damage, you include all this stuff, you get 212%. So when you add or multiply 11.5% boost, the boost calculation is actually 24%. Okay, just so everybody understands how that works, it's actually 24%. That's the equivalent in the bonus, if you will. So boost, that's what it does. Because basically you add this up and then you multiply it by 11.5%, you get 24%. And then when you go apply your total normal damage, 236%. Okay, or if you take away the base normal damage of 100%, it's 136%. Okay, and let me show you. We were running these rallies, and towards the end of one rally, I was able to find a turn in the battle log that had the straight to the point procced on it. Okay, so here's what it is right here. This will blow your mind. Okay, if you look over here to the left side, this is like one of the last turns in one of these rallies I was doing. You see that normal damage of 112%? And if you look at that normal damage of 112%, let's go back to this. 212%, which is the 112%. So you add up all the red numbers, that's 112%. Okay, well, there it is right there. There it is. Boom. It's showing you over here in the box to the left, your normal damage is 112%. Then you're boosting that. That's what's crazy about Arch. That's why it's so wild. It's like a boost to all damage. It is absolutely crazy. You can see there's a Ring of Doom proc in here. That's why the all damage is ramping up. The all damage is above the normal damage. And I put a box around both of them so you can just kind of see how much this ramps up. Okay, so that made sense to me. That is why Arch outperforms Delta, because you're doing white numbers, you're doing the white numbers, you're doing the enhancement to your Subutai active skill. This active skill is broken, y'all. It's 3,000 damage factor. That's the first 3,000 damage factor we've ever seen in this game. That's why that's important. And so with that being said, the normal damage enhances everything. Every single bit of damage Attila Subutai kicks out is enhanced by normal damage. When you go to Delta, you start ramping up the combo damage. Well, that doesn't affect normal damage, okay? It doesn't affect it at all. And this is what I was trying to say, that Arch, initially going in, I was like, well, if you're gonna get swarmed down, if you wanna be more prickly, you can run the Arch and still get good benefit to the rally. Well, no, you run the boost up so high and it affects all the normal damage output that you just overpower everything, okay? And so that's why Arch works. Guys, that's the secret. That's why this Attila, this thing right here, like the Attila I have run, I've run it against the best kingdoms. And in Artifact KVKs and Garrison, my Attila Gorgo is undefeated, absolutely undefeated. All right, my rallies, Attila's CPO Emilianus that we ran last KVK against 365 was doing crazy numbers. I put videos out about it. I never understood why it worked so well, but now I do. Now it makes sense. And now I want to share it with everybody else and let them understand, because now we have a bona fide cav rally, okay? That is not an artifact cav rally. It is just a pure cav rally. It's Attila Subutai. It's wrecking everything right now. Okay, how long it'll last, I don't know. But right now it's wrecking everything. So what I think will happen, for those of you who invested in Delta, don't be alarmed. Don't get crazy. If you are the rally lead for your kingdom, you might consider changing this over to Arch. I'll just say that. However, if you're in a situation to where you've collected the Delta, you can run this. It's great for Arthur. It works for Arthur. Like, you don't want to run Arthur with Arch. You can, but you're literally wanting to run this for the butterfly effect, which makes Philip and William behind Arthur in a combo setting. It makes it superhuman. Okay, so you don't want to change that. However, eventually when the game gives us a cav commander that is another combo commander that can actually work in a rally, okay, because Arthur does not work in a rally. All his skills, these are field-based skills, okay? And when they give us another cav commander that will work in a rally, and it can be on the next cycle. It can be, even if there's going to be a garrison commander, it can be a field commander like Nevsky or something. Nevsky is not a rally commander, but he's been a part of the rally for so long. Then when they give us another commander that is a combo commander for cavalry, and it works in a rally, then I think at that point you will see the Delta formation perform better. But right now, that's not what we have. We have Attila running with Subutai. And since it's Attila, it's the Arch. That's what you want to be. So if you're one of these players that has Arch stuff like this, it's rare. But if you are, don't switch it to Delta. Just stay with it and run it. And so that was the code that we cracked. That was the problem we just solved. And it was like an epiphany last night. I couldn't believe what I was kind of understanding in my brain, when you're trying to figure out something for so long and you finally figure it out. That's it. It is this thing right here, and it's this thing right here. And then you multiply all the normal damage Attila Subutai does, and you put a boost on it, and that's why it works. Hope everybody was able to follow me a little bit. If you want to join my Discord and ask some questions about that, I'm in there all the time. You can go into general chat in there. You can go to ask a question. People are great with advice. It's a fun community. We all have a good time with it. It's not toxic at all. We don't put up with that kind of stuff. And I encourage you to do so. My Discord link is in the description. Hope everybody got some value out of this video. Throw a thumbs up on it. Throw a like on it. And with that being said, y'all have a great day, broskies.